So Crystal River area is unique because it is what we consider the old type of Florida, where we do not have the massive beaches and the white sands. What we do have is nature coast. It's all natural, mangroves, along with coral reefs, springs, plenty variety of birds to see, along with the dolphins and the manatee that we have here. The best way to describe it is find the crystal clear water, you're going to come to Crystal River. When you get out there to the mangroves, you're fishing in 2 to 3 foot of water up in the shallows, and you can see all the way to the bottom. Majority of the time you can see the fish you're wanting to catch. It's a very unique area, almost like the Keys, but you don't have to go as far. So Crystal River is kind of in the middle of a area from Homosassa all the way up to Cedar Key. And being in the middle, we have a lot of rivers. We have a lot of springs from Homosassa all the way through Cedar Key. It's just definitely unique. When most of the South has a red tide, has to deal with a red tide, we seem to not have that issue because we have so much fresh water coming in. So while other fisheries may suffer from those problems as red tide or E. coli or whatever's going on in the ocean, we tend to keep it fresh with fresh flowing water from the Withlacoochee to the Homosassa River. It just tends to keep us nice and clear, nice and fresh. And it's always just a great adventure. You have miles and miles of shoreline that you can fish here. And it's just an outdoorsman's dream. So we have the nature coast, but fishing here is year round. We can fish cold, hot, temperate water, it doesn't matter. We usually catch the fish any time of the year. Because it's such a shallow area and because it's such a great resource. Even in the wintertime when it's 50 degrees out and the water's still cold, we can catch redfish, we can still catch sheep's head, go out on the rocks, catch some grouper. It's a very unique area that allows us to catch a variety of fish all year long. Because of the mangroves, because of the shallow water, even though it's cold outside, that water will warm up during the day and those fish will be active. Also including during the summertime. I mean, if you're getting tired and hot, want to go for a dip, we can do that too, especially in this afternoon in the summer times between July and September. Go fishing for a little bit. Once you get hot, we can go dip in the water and catch some scallops. It's just a fun place where we can catch redfish, snook, sheep's head, trout, mangrove snapper, shallow water grouper, tarpon. The list goes on. It's just an exciting adventure. There are many varieties here in the Crystal River area, right around the boats, right around the docks. You have snook. You even have some tarpon hanging in here as well. You do have the redfish. These are species that can tolerate the fresh water. So those species include the mangrove snapper, sheep's head, snook, redfish. We have freshwater, well, I call them freshwater mullet because they stay in the river all the time, but it is mullet here, which you can bank fish for them. This is one of the rare places in Florida that you can sit on a bank and catch mullet with a rod and reel. So if you're wanting to book a fishing charter here at the Anglers Inn Suites on Crystal River, you do not have to have any rods, any gear, or any license. Us captains here are very qualified. We do have the licensing for you. So, and all the gear that you'll ever need. If you would like, you are more than welcome to bring any of your favorite rods that you'd love to, or any tackle you want to try. But we have it all handled here, and you just walk on and we're ready to fish. The best time for snook in the Crystal River area is usually when you're looking more at water temperature more than season. Because we could have a harsh winter and it takes a while for the waters to warm up. We have such a shallow basin here. So what we're really looking for is water temperature that hits 66 degrees or above. So anytime that happens, which is usually say mid-April, May, June, you can definitely target those snook easier in those times. You can catch them during the wintertime here, and usually they're up in the rivers near the springs, but most of the time they're real lethargic. One of the other species we have here is the speckled trout. It's caught year-round. Best time is when it's cooler months, say February, March, through October, November, even December. And then the unique thing about the trout is they go in schools. So usually when you're catching trout with jigs, with shrimp, with pinfish, you're gonna catch one, you're gonna catch 20. I mean, it's just one of those unique things. Speckled trout is a great table fare, very, very light white meat. They are fun to catch. They get up on top of the water and they will walk a little bit, shake that head. They've got a very, very orange mouth, so it's just very entertaining to catch them. Their top water bite is phenomenal. When they hit, they will hit it and they will knock that lure 3 to 4 foot up in the water, in the air at times. So if you're looking for some exciting fishing, trout does the best, especially in the cooler months. The best time to fish for tarpon in the Crystal River area is usually around April, early April through May, and sometimes even through the summertime. We do have schools that come through gradually, so you just kind of post up and wait for these schools to come by. Once you see the turtles kind of popping up, that's when you're going to find the tarpon. We also have a very small season in the wintertime up in Yankeetown near Inglis, in this little barge canal where they just kind of hang out for the winter. So even in the cold months, say November, December, we can still find the tarpon in those areas. The way we fish these tarpon is live bait, also some lures as well. You can throw some jigs at them, some top water, even fly fishing if you're into that. But most of the time it's live bait, just kind of posting up, waiting for these fish to come through. Even up there in Yankeetown, we'll catch some small ladyfish, about yay size. We can kind of troll with them or just kind of let them float out and swim around, and the tarpon will definitely hit them then. The sizes of tarpon vary. We can have some juveniles between the 40 and 50 pound range on up to 100 and 150 pound range usually. It's kind of common that we've seen here, so we've got a good variety of sizes, shapes, and adventure for you. Let's say you book a trip to come down here for saltwater fishing, weather turns bad, we got a lot of wind. Well, we can switch gears. With my flats boat here and a couple of our other boats, we can actually go into fresh water. We can go into the Withlacoochee River or Lake Rousseau and we can hit those bass. We also have crappie and bluegill as well. So even if the weather may turn bad here, we can probably get you on some freshwater bass fishing as well. Or if you just prefer to do some bass fishing, we can do that too.
Whack 'em.
So scallop season here in the Crystal River area starts from July 1st through September 24th. And a lot of people haven't done scallop fishing, and we consider it fishing because scallop is considered a fish by the FWC. The interesting thing about it is we're not using a rod and reel. You're using your own hands. So what we'll do is we'll go out there to the flats in about 3 to 4 foot of water. We'll get you some fins on, get you a snorkel and mask, and you start combing the area. You're floating on top, you're looking around for this nice little scallop shell. Once you see one, you dive down, you pick it up, put it in your bag. These scallops are so delicious. They're not like your regular scallops that you would get in a restaurant. They're called bay scallops, so they're very small. But the taste is out of this world. From nice, salty, sweet flavor that you can eat them right off the boat if you prefer, or take them to many of the restaurants around that will cook them up, and including cooking them up right here on the Anglers Inn Suites. So what's unique about this area where the Anglers Inn Floating Suites are in Crystal River, it's just a very short walk to the opposite banks, and you can actually catch mullet, mangrove snapper, sheep's head right off the bank. There's a nice little bank over here. The mullet, they can be quite entertaining to catch them either on a cane pole or on a spinning reel.